Hello, all you beautiful people out there. What is going on? This is your friend Brittany coming at you fast with another Paragon tips and tricks video. And today we are going to be covering something for beginners, and that's just general deck building. I've noticed that I've been making all these awesome guides, according to you guys, of course. I'm not tooting my own horn or anything. I'm blowing my own goddamn trumpet. No, I'm just kidding. But you guys say that my guides are pretty awesome and they're helpful, and I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate the fuck out of all you guys, whether you're new or old or been here since forever or been here since yesterday. I love all of you all the same, and I want to give you guys a big thank you before we move on. That this is for beginners because some people have been requesting a general deck building video, like how to start building decks, like where do I start when I'm building decks. And this is going to be kind of for beginners, but also maybe for some intermediate players. I mean, if you're advanced, like if you're in platinum or diamond, you have a pretty good idea of what MOBAs are and what roles heroes play and how to build for those roles, then you're pretty good. You can click away now. I mean, if you're still here, you can stick around too. That's great. But we're just going to go over general decks, and then we're going to go over a deck for every single hero type. So that's mage, ranger, and then fighter. We're going to build specific decks for them. Before we move on, I do want to do a quick list plug. So I just noticed this by logging on today. Learn from your favorite streamers. So if you click on this in the homepage of your game, it will take you to a browser, whether you're on PC or PS4. It will take you to Twitch, and it will show everybody who's playing Paragon right now. And I do stream every day when I can. I do have a final like tomorrow or in a day or something. And so, I should probably know. But you guys can find me there if you just want to, if you're bored of playing, you want to watch some people, boom, they added this awesome shortcut, which I think is fantastic. That's really, really cool. So anyway, let's move on into the deck. So what do I do when I first start building decks? Well, let's do a new deck right here. I don't know. We're just going to do a random hero just for show, okay? We don't care who it is. This is just the general deck building, okay? So first thing, you're obviously going to pick your prime card. And now this just depends on how you want to build your hero. So as soon as you hit level 5, you do want to build decks, okay? The decks that you can make are usually better than the ones that the game gives you. Maybe not off the start because you don't have that many cards, but as you unlock more cards, as you open more packs, you'll get stronger and stronger cards, especially ones that are more specific to your affinity. So we're going to pick a prime card now. So, for example, since we picked Sparrow, we're going to go with one that gives us more damage because Sparrow, if you look at her stats in the beginning, she has a lot of attack damage, so that's what we want to focus. And she does physical damage, so that's important to know. So we want to pick the Warlord instead of the Archmagus, okay? So we want to pick the more physical damage because we want her dealing as much damage as possible. She's a ranger, right? And I'll go over into more detail with that later. Okay, now usually if you don't know where to start, you always want to start with your consumables, okay? You always want to have a health potion, a mana potion, a harvester key, and a scout sword in your deck, okay? Now these are just 4 things that you always want to have unless you're more of an advanced player and you know how to play your hero and you're very specific with how you play him, then you can kind of trade out, trade in, but usually the way to start is to go health potion, mana potion, and scout sword off the start of the game or harvester key depending on what you're going to be doing, okay? Now, there are these 1-point tokens that you can use instead of maybe a harvester key or a scout sword. And if it's somebody like Sparrow who doesn't really need too much mana, then you can, ditch the mana potion and just go a strike token in the beginning just to deal more damage. There's a couple of different ways to do it. At this moment in time, if I were to play Sparrow right now, I would go with a health potion, and I would actually go with 2 strike tokens to deal a really good amount of damage in the beginning, because Sparrow is one of the better ADCs when it comes to early game damage. But I just know that because I'm super smarticles. You probably don't know that yet if you're a beginner, because you haven't played that much and you don't really know these heroes well. So besides the consumables, you want to understand what your character is good at. So again, Sparrow, if you look at her basic attack, it's maxed. She's really, really good at that, okay? She's really, really good at that. So that's what we're going to focus on with her. That's what we're going to build. So we're going to go and we're going to find cards that just give us damage and attack speed. So we're going to hit the attack speed right there. Boom. Windcarver Blade is a beautiful card on Sparrow, and it gives us good physical damage and attack speed. So maybe throw a couple of those in there. All right. By the way, guys, I'm not trying to make a really good deck right now. I'm just doing this as an example, right? So because Sparrow has so much damage, you want to focus on that. So you want to do stuff like attack damage, attack speed, maybe crit chance, maybe crit damage, and lifesteal. Okay, my favorite trio is attack damage, attack speed, and lifesteal, because crit chance hasn't been too effective as of late. So, Windcarver Blade's a good one to have. Let's take that off. Let's go, where's our damage? Where's our damage one? Right here. Physical damage, okay? So there's a lot. So Adamant Edge is a really good one to have. You know, Spike, Bone Plate, and Thorn Green, these are, you know, higher level cards. We're just going to stick to the basic universal cards that everybody has, just so everybody can get a good example of what you should usually build, you know? So Adamant Edge, Wind Cover Blade, let's say Amulet of the Veteran, whatever, maybe Spirit of the Rift Hunter, and I don't know, let's get a Lifesteal card up in here somewhere. We're going to destroy that, and then we're going to go into Lifesteal right there, and let's be like, oh my god, Sword of Altar. Great, okay? So now you have your 6 equipment items, okay? Let's just work with 6 for now, because this is a beginner guide. I can definitely make a more advanced guide where I talk about trading in items as you progress, like when you should put in 1 slot upgrades, when you should put in 2 slot upgrades. But this is just a really general, you know, guide for beginner players, because people have requested this, okay? So I decided, let's give back, you know, let's help. I'm all about listening to you guys, and I'm all about doing what's best for you guys. And, you know, I read every single comment, so any feedback and anything you want to see, drop it below, and if I have time, I'll make a video on it, and I thought this was a very important video to make. So shout out to the people who requested this. So we have 6 equipment items. That's usually what you want to go with. And my favorite way to slot things is to have 2 cards filled with 2-point cards, and then all the rest have 3-point upgrades in them. So let's, you know, for example, let's say Wind Cover Blade and Adamant Edge, right? We want to start off as those as our, you know, 2 cards that have nothing but 2-point upgrades into them. So like, let's say we build our Wind Cover Blade first, and we're gonna be like, oh, let's go to upgrades and let's do, you know, kinetics. Where are kinetics at? What the hell's going on? Oh, LOL. Okay, my bad. Okay. Kinetics, minor kinetic, right there. So we're going to have 3 kinetics up in this piece, and we're going to have 3 strikes up in this piece, okay? And then everything else will just go 3-point cards. Already added the 3-point card drain. Okay, let's do greater health, maybe for the Amulet of the Veteran if we want. Just in case, you know, have that in there, maybe if we want to be tanky at some sort of point. But mainly we're just going to focus on damage with her, like I said. You know, let's see, that's boom, boom. Okay, let's just have more. Screw it. All the major strikes. And just throw in, you know, a good variation of 1.2 card and 3-point cards based on what you need up here. So like I said, we need attack damage, attack speed, and lifesteal, and we got that. Okay, attack damage, attack speed, and lifesteal. And make sure that their damage cards match up with whatever damage type your hero is. Otherwise, you're doing absolutely nothing, because if I were to build energy damage on Sparrow, it will give her absolutely no buffs whatsoever. So there we go. So there's the physical damage and everything like that. Okay, boom. So that's pretty much how you build a deck. You start with the consumables. Always start with these 4 right here, and then based on what you're comfortable with, have, you know, tokens in there too. They help a lot in the beginning. And then, you know, go in. A very basic build to go by is your first 2 cards. You slot them with 2-point cards. Okay, so like I build a Wind Cover Blade, I go 3 kinetics. And then I build an Adamant Edge, I go 3 strikes. And then everything else, you know, you can go 3-pointers in there. Actually, no, you need 3, my bad. I lied. Haha, look at me lying. You need 3 cards with 2-pointers in there. I'm pretty sure if I remember the math, because that would be 27 and then 36. No? Wait. Crap, now I'm confusing myself. I don't usually do that. Anyway, we can do the math later. That's not important. That's not important right now. Everybody's typing in the comment section, disliking the video. Oh, you fucking retarded. Can't make it even do math and deck build video. Fuck you. It's because usually you just want to have a good mixture of everything, okay? Because you never know. You never know what the situation might be. Maybe you need some minor strikes up in this piece. You never know, okay? We're just doing this as an example. I'm already... Oh, man. I'm making these videos way too long. Okay, so... That's a basic build. Now let's go over different kind of heroes, okay, what you want to go. So let's go with, let's go with Gadget, okay? Let's go with Gadget. So the thing you want to focus on with mages is obviously you want to focus their energy damage, because usually they're energy damage mages. I don't think there's a single physical damage mage in the game as of right now. So, you know, you want to focus with the energy damage. You want to focus a little bit of the mana, you know, on the side. I don't really slot mana too much, but I do, you know, make sure to have cards that give me mana on my full upgrade, like Amp Crystal, for example. Okay, you want to go damage, you want to have some sort of sustainability, so, you know, some health, and you want to have cooldown typically. So, you know, focus damage, mana, health, and cooldown when it comes to mages and or casters. I guess you can call them casters too, if you like. Then, again, let's go back to the Rangers. So, let's see, Katniss's mom. Okay, we'll just go back with the Sparrow right? You just want to have damage, attack speed, and lifesteal. Those are the 3 ones you want to focus. You could also throw in crit chance and crit damage in there as well. And then fighters. Now, fighters are a little trickier because it depends what kind of fighter you want, so we're going to go over both of them. So let's say you want to be a tanky fighter. Okay, Richter has a durability of 10, so that's how you know he would be a good tank. So that's why, you know, I have a lot of armor cards on him. I have a lot of health cards on him. I have a little bit of damage because you do want to build damage in the beginning just so you can clear waves and jungle camps quick. And then you want to start, you know, building armor and then health and then maybe cooldown later on in the game, because that's always nice to be able to use your abilities more often, but you're not too worried about dealing damage. So again, a teeny bit of damage in the beginning, and then armor, guard, barrier, you know, stuff like that, health, and then cooldown in the very end. Okay, and then there's the other fighter, which is a bit more damagey. So, I mean, let's, Space Rhino of Sexiness, this is my Grux build, right? And this is a bit more damagey, so I build way more damage in the beginning, so I can gank people and just absolutely blow them up early game, because fighters are stronger earlier game than rangers, and then it flips. So when late game comes around and rangers get really good, I start building some sustainability in the form of armor and lifesteal, okay, with Thirst Fang. So kind of a little bit like fighters are a bit trickier, okay? They don't really have their own, you know, formula that works every single time. Mages and rangers, you can kind of be certain that you can follow the same formula pretty much every single time. But with fighters, it kind of just depends on if you want to be tankier, if you want to do more damage, whatever. I started going a bit more hybrid-y with all my fighters, you know, start with damage, then go tank for most of them, unless it's something like Steel, where I go tank right away, you know, because he's just really good with his crowd control. Feel the Steel right there, okay, just go straight up tank. I do have, you know, Quartz Blade up in there, but that's don't usually worry about that too much. So there you guys have it. So that's like in general just like the 3 different types of heroes and how their deck should be built, and then, you know, an example deck of what to start with and where to go with and just how to think, just this whole process of thinking. If you guys have any questions, make sure to drop in the comment section below. Like I said, I do read and I do respond when I do have the time. Right now I'm very, very, very busy, but in a couple days I'll be finally done with summer school, so I can like stream every day and it'll be great, and we'll have total parties and there'll be tons of boobies everywhere and it'll be great. But anyway, that's about it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you guys drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I have a final in the day, so I'm probably going to end up killing myself, but if I don't, well, I'll see you guys next time. And as always, make sure y'all have a wonderful day.